It's Thursday, November 21, and it's 34 days until Christmas. Several companies on board with ExxonMobil as Guyana prepares for first oil, and the government provides essential items to families at Grove on the east bank of Demerara. Welcome to InfoHub. In our first story, Alexis Rodney reports that several companies are on board with U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil as Guyana prepares for first oil in less than 1 month.
Among the big names are Texas-based industrial service company Baker Hughes, Italian oil and gas industry contractor Saipem, and global oil and gas company Techni FMC, which provides complete project lifecycle services to the energy industry. These companies that provide direct services to ExxonMobil were on display at the ongoing Department of Energy's GPEX 2019 forum at the Marriott Hotel.
We service the oil field operators such as Exxon, Repsol, and BP and whatnot. We provide a range of services for both drilling and completion as well as production. So we service both the upstream as well as the downstream side of the oil and gas industry.
Italian-based contracting company Saipem has branches worldwide and provides engineering, procuring, construction and installation of subsea pipelines.
Currently, for the LISA project, Saipem's scope of work is responsible for the fabrication, the coating and the laying of the pipes, as well as the fabrication and construction of the subsea structures.
Local recruitment company Strategic Recruitment Solutions has positioned itself to assist both skilled and unskilled Guyanese who are seeking employment in the oil and gas sector.
Our mandate is towards our Guyanese. We promote local talent. We do recruitment both onshore and offshore, meaning on land and on sea. Offshore is usually done within the oil and gas sector.
Other companies at the exhibition included Texas-based oilfield services company Schlumberger and Dutch-based global group of companies SBM Offshore, among others. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Meantime, ExxonMobil's Senior Vice President of Upstream Oil and Gas Deepwater, Hunter Farris, said the company is here to partner with Guyana and its people to develop its oil and gas resources in a responsible and mutually beneficial way.
So far, more than 3,400 people in Guyana have worked on our exploration and project activities directly, including more than 1,700 Guyanese. Since 2017, we've more than tripled our local workforce, and we're continuing to build. We also rely on the Guyanese supplier community, more than 600 vendors and suppliers with more than 36 billion Guyana dollars, or 180 million US dollars, in spending and counting.
That was ExxonMobil's Senior Vice President of Upstream Oil and Gas Deepwater, Hunter Farris. He explained that this includes those who are being trained in Singapore, Canada, and the US, or already contributing to the company's local operations.
It's super exciting to develop the future leaders of the industry from the ground up. And through continued development, Guyana is becoming increasingly connected to the world economy, and the oil and gas sector is a key part of that process. I believe that Guyanese should be confident and proud of their increasing role in the world.
Dozens of businesses are working with ExxonMobil in various fields. These include supplying rations and a variety of shore-based operations. The coalition government is finalizing a local content policy to define how companies in the sector are expected to utilize local content and resources in a variety of ways. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Scores of families, including Venezuelan migrants living at Grove on the east bank of Demerara, were today provided with essential items, compliments of the government.
The residents who live along the bank of the Demerara River were provided with food and non-food items by the Civil Defense Commission. Partnering with the Ministry of Education, Social Protection and Public Health, the government is working on immunization and education, as well as welfare support for the migrants. Speaking to InfoHub, Minister of Citizenship, the Honorable Winston Felix, explained that the government continues to lend support to migrants.
We have been embracing the Venezuelan migrants however they come. As a result of the policy not to return them, we have been landing them and giving them, wherever we find them, and grant them 3 months.
The minister stressed that registration and relocation is on the forefront of the government's agenda.
Ministerial committee has a relationship with the international organizations with respect to support of Venezuelans, whether it's in health, whether it's children's welfare, whether it's trafficking in person, we have that representation on the committee to address the issues and to make reports and bring us up to date with the current situation.
Over 600 persons have made the riverbank their home along the Grove to Herseling stretch. Of this number, over 150 of them are Venezuelan migrants. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
Ministers of government have indicated their readiness to continue the fight for children's rights and well-being. This assurance was given by the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Basil Williams, during a ceremony hosted by the United Nations Children's Fund on Wednesday evening in observance of World Children's Day.
The Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, was amended to decree that the best interests of the child shall always be paramount. To this end, Article 38B of the Constitution states that, and I quote, "The best interests of the child shall be the primary consideration in all judicial proceedings and decisions, and in all matters concerning children, whether undertaken by public or private social welfare institutions, administrative authorities, or legislative bodies."
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honorable Basil Williams. Minister Williams also noted that this year, Guyana has achieved another milestone with respect to ensuring that children's rights are preserved by acceding to 4 Hague Conventions. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Dr. Karen Cummings, pledged government's continued support to the preservation of children's rights.
In furthering full implementation of the Convention, we stand determined to implement meaningful child-centered policies, to further good governance, enhance investments, and allocate the necessary resources for the advancement of children's rights, and to strengthen multi-stakeholders partnerships, including with civil society, for this purpose.
This year's event, hosted at the Theatre Guild, also marks the 30th anniversary of the adoption of the Convention on Rights of the Child, which is the most widely ratified human rights treaty. Brief remarks were also made by Deputy Representative of UNICEF, Irfan Akhtar. For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.
When we return, Buxton Friendship farmers receiving much-needed assistance from government, and Isla Penitence Health Center on its way to becoming paperless. Details of these stories and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Farmers from Buxton Friendship will soon be receiving much-needed assistance following an assessment visit by Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Raphael Trotman. The visit follows a request made by farmers who are experiencing difficulties.
The visit follows a request made by the farmers who are experiencing difficulties. Some of those challenges include drainage and irrigation, construction of roads leading to the farms, and plowing of the farmlands. Minister Trotman said immediately after being briefed, he contacted Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Noel Holder, to iron out how best the issues can be addressed.
Hopefully soon, yes, because I'm here to report on behalf of the minister, so I'll let him know what's happening tonight and let him know it's going well.
Sandy Adams, a farmer within the community, said that he was pleased with the minister's visit, describing it as fruitful. Adams said it allowed himself and fellow farmers to share some of the plans they have for the development of their farms.
We had a meeting last week with a chat with him, and he promised that he'd come out, and we're pleased that he come back and show me that he's interested about to get the project going. Because with farm, when you're doing farm, you get everything in hand. And I'm a farmer for over 50 years, you know. And I'm pleased that the minister come and he's putting things back in place. One of the plans that we have for the area is we ain't getting the kind of water we need to do the kind of farming we'll be doing. But he said that we can cooperate with us, and we praise him for that.
Additionally, Minister Trotman also donated farming tools to the community's primary school. That too was a request made by the teachers of the school to assist in getting the school's garden up and running. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
The Isla Penitence Health Center is well on its way to becoming the first paperless health facility, as progress is being made to capture patients' medical information in a more concise and accurate manner.
Doctor in charge of the East La Penitence Health Center, Dr. Keisha Chin, said since the initial pilot of an electronic medical records system, there has been marked improvements in service delivery at the center.
We're not paperless, but we're paper light. It's going to take quite a few years for us to become paperless. In December, if I remember correctly, December 18, 2017 is when we implemented the electronic medical record here at the East La Penitence Health Center using the Guyana Health Information System. So since then, we have the system mostly to the point where it was developed. We were focusing on our outpatients and we were focusing on our chronic disease patients. So we still maintain the card system or the records for our antenatal services and for our care and treatment.
This medical records system captures patients' pertinent information such as their demographics, medical history, clinical treatment data upon entry, and whether they have been transferred from or within a facility, thus eliminating the need for paper-based documentation.
The patient flow is much easier. One of the things that we have noticed as well with electronic medical record is that the charts are always readily available. We can easily just sign into our profiles, get the patient's record, and everything that you have done for that patient since the implementation of the medical record is easily available for you to access it.
The East La Penitence Health Center caters for approximately 12,700 patients in and around the community. The electronic medical record stores information from more of the outpatient and chronic diseases patients of the facility. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
As the curtains for the National Athletic Schools Championship slowly close, athletes credit their success to training and perseverance with eyes focused on next year's championships as well as the Carifta Games.
17-year-old Jahiza Copeland is a Mackenzie High School student athlete who's representing District 10 in the discus girls on the 18 final. She's no outsider to the spotlight, competing in her 5th championship nationally and also represented Guyana at the Carifta Games earlier this year.
I've represented Guyana at the Carifta Games earlier this year.
Do you have plans for Carifta Games next year?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I hope to finish on the podium. I hope to train, and as soon as the season starts, I hope to train very hard, extra hard, because success is earned, it's not given.
Newcomer 16-year-old Eric D'Souza, for the first time, took the opportunity to take part in the high jump event. The young man who was knocked out of the competition did not take it too hard, but instead plans to come harder next year.
Well, to tell you the honest truth, is an opportunity for me. I feel so confident. I feel like I'm on the next level now. The first time I was selected, when I heard my name called on that list, it was nervous for me then to now. But as I completed the event, I feel more confident. I feel that next year, I know what requires of me, so I'm going to go work hard, train hard.
On a more senior level, Assistant Manager for District 10's cycling team, Maurice Cummings, proudly stated that the cycling team was placed second at this year's event and is in the lead for the track events.
Yes, we are motivating the athletes. I must say I like the initiative the Ministry of Education would have implemented it, giving medals to those athletes who would have broken records, and I think that would have been a very good motivation to the students athletes. So I think our athletes are well motivated to break a lot of records. So far we would have broken about 3 or 4 records.
For InfoHub, Gavin Lewis.
Before we close, let's remind you that ministers of government will this weekend fan out in communities in the Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo region, where they will meet with residents, listen to their concerns, and offer solutions. Several meetings were hosted over the past weeks in several regions, including regions 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. The meetings form part of the coalition government's commitment to interacting with persons at the grassroots level to ensure that they are benefiting from the promised good life. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more information is on our website at dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to our Instagram page for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.